I'm going to show you how to log in to our AvaEye series NVRs on the local network. If you're using Windows or Mac, you can use Chrome as a browser to log into your NVR. You'll have to know what the IP address is of your NVR by going into its network settings and finding it there. Once you know that, you can type in the local IP address by just simply putting it in your browser and hit enter. It should open up this web page where you'll see the login screen for your NVR. On the top, it'll ask you to install a plugin. If you do not want to install a plugin because you're restricted by your corporate environment or for any other reason, you don't have to. Type in the username and password for your NVR. Once you're logged in, you'll be able to see the video from each channel by pressing it on the top left-hand corner here. Without a plugin, you are limited to viewing one camera at a time. You cannot have multiple cameras being displayed at the same time. It's going to be like so. You can click one at a time. And also the display is going to be limited to 1080p resolution despite whatever the true resolution of your camera may be. And there are limitations as to how the image can get stretched. So if you want to change the aspect of your web browser while you're viewing, you have to switch away from the channel and switch back to it to correct the aspect ratio. See, I have to go back to another camera to make the image correct again. You can view video, live video. There is no playback when you're not using a web plugin to watch your camera system or your IP camera. Secondly, you can hear audio. If your camera has audio, you'll be able to hear it. So I'm going to show you a demonstration of that. This particular camera has a microphone attached to it. The microphone's built in, and you can hear the feedback. The camera can actually hear me talking, and that's feedback coming from it because I'm viewing it on the computer from speakers right near this microphone that I'm speaking into here. You can actually hear audio from your cameras if there is a built-in microphone in it. You can go into setup, change certain settings you need to by going through these menus. And then you can also configure the smart detection settings if your camera that you're using from AvaEye happens to have a smart settings in there, such as event detection for cross-line intrusion. In this case, I can actually go in here, configure them. It'll display the camera, and I can actually draw a line and set my rule. The purpose of this video is to show you what you can achieve without using a plugin, using a Mac or Windows computer with our NVRs that support plugin-free viewing. So to recap, the functions you can achieve by using the plugin-free viewing is live video viewing, one camera at a time, at up to 1080p mode. You can hear audio, you can manage the settings, and you can manage any event detection rules you have configured for compatible cameras that are AvaEye cameras through the NVR's web interface. Any settings you put in here will get configured onto the camera. This is not true for any on-view cameras or third-party cameras that are not compatible. In the next part of this video, now I'm going to show you what you can achieve by installing the plugin. If you have a Windows computer, there is a plugin that you can install. It's compatible on Windows 10 and 11. So to install the plugin, you would want to visit your page for your NVR. You'll see this bar on the top. Click on it. You can click Save, and then it downloads to your folder. Click on it, and then make sure these are all checked, and then hit Finish. It installs pretty quickly, so after you've installed it, you can refresh your browser. And that message on the top went away pretty quickly. That means the plugin's been installed. Log into your NVR. And now it actually gives you a channel grid, so you can view multiple channels at the same time. So you can view up to 16 cameras through the web interface. It intelligently manages the streaming on them. So when you have multiple cameras being displayed at one time, it is using the substream to display them. Once you're done viewing your multi-grid channel view, you can click on the channel and view it in full screen. Notice that the resolution on the bottom, it states the amount of kilobits it's using, its frames per second, encoding, and resolution right here. So this is not using the full resolution just to intelligently manage the bandwidth. The web interface is designed to reduce the amount of memory it's taking on your computer. So if you want to view a certain channel in higher resolution, you just click on here and choose mainstream. This function works with compatible AvaEye cameras. As you can see now, the image is higher bitrate, higher resolution. You can also do more digital zoom. If you want to look back at your channel grid view, just double click here, go back in the channel grid, and then you can change to a different camera, go back, go into mainstream, and zoom in. One thing important to note is that when you're doing this and you're changing all of these streams, keep in mind they're staying at mainstream. The more you leave channels you leave at mainstream, the higher the resolution, the higher the memory it occupies on your PC. So in order to be able to do this, especially if you're using H.265 video, you need to have a very strong computer. You can maximize view. It also allows you to hear audio. Hello? You heard that echo? That's me talking, and the feedback coming back from the speaker. You can actually go into playback. You can play back channels. If your NVR has a hard drive, it'll display that. This is just a demo. I don't have a hard drive in here. Go to setup, do the settings just like how I showed you prior, and the plugin free interface. And then here you can also manage the event detections as well. So the plugin method gives you additional benefits because you can view multiple cameras at one time. You can play back video, not only just view live video. So that's the advantage of having the plugin. Depending on your requirements, you may use it with the plugin or without the plugin.
If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.